Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the J.A.B podcast. I am joined, as always, by Josh and Ben. And we are returning after a very long break, hiatus, streak without an episode. I don't know what you want to call it, but we have returned after it's been about maybe 3 months to this point.
We took a vacation for sure.
I did take a month vacation during that 3 months, so that definitely played a role into it. The original plan was to get some draft grades right after the NFL draft, but things got in the way. Schedules got busy, but we found a time that worked for everybody, and here we are. How are you two?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
All right, so we'll just get right into it. We'll start off with some NFL talk. We got a couple of players unhappy with some current situations. First off, Jordan Love is holding in, whatever you want to call it. He's attending training camp, but he's not on the field practicing with the team. He's only attending meetings and stuff in the building until he reaches a contract extension with the Packers. So what are thoughts on this? Any predictions on what the contract's going to look like, or if you think he should even be doing this, or if the Packers should even pay him yet?
I think he's gonna get a Patrick Mahomes level deal, which I hate to say, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna get it. We're looking somewhere around 50 mil a year, which is crazy.
Crazy for only 10 good games,
half
one
a
full
season
season
of
as a
elite
starter.
production.
Horrible.
Yeah.
He played half a season good, consistent. The other half he played like dog shit.
Okay.
He still has 1 year left on his contract.
For the beginning half of the year, did he play like dog shit, or did the rest of the people around him play like dog shit?
Yeah, he did. He didn't play good.
I think most of it was a team.
You could argue he played okay.
Shit.
You could argue he played okay or decent, but he did not play good.
No, not 50 mil a year good, but he was all right for the first half.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Right. And he's going to get paid like a top 5 quarterback after about 8 games of playing at a high level. Well, and he's not going to come to camp with 1 year left on his contract.
Well, to be fair, he's doing this. He's doing this in the most respectful way possible. He's still there.
I don't think he can do this in a respectful way.
Not there.
Yeah, but it's not like they're not going to pay him after this year.
I mean,
he's listening to Rodgers too much right now. Because this is just like a pussy move. Seriously. He's got another year in his contract. He had 1 year starting. He was basically a rookie last year. And then now he's demanding whatever he's demanding is going to be higher than what he deserves. Because he is not a top 5 quarterback.
You got to look. The Packers have zero leverage in this situation. They've invested 4 years into this guy. And
I mean, I think he's going to get paid. I just think he's doing it like a bitch.
Whatever gets him paid, I mean, they risk their bodies out there. He could tear his ACL and
I guess, but then if I was the Packers, I'd be moving on because he is not going to be worth top 5, top 3 quarterback money. He's just not.
I mean, he was putting up numbers. At the end of the season, he was putting up numbers like Mahomes, Lamar, and
maybe for a couple games.
8 games, yeah.
Yeah, but
I definitely think it's too early. It's definitely too early to give him this kind of contract. I think maybe eventually he can play his way into a $50 million deal or $50 million a year. But right now, I wouldn't give him that. I'd give him a 2-year contract, 25 a year maybe, so 2 year, $50 million. Let him prove himself. If he proves himself next year or within that 2-year extension, then you give him the $50 million a year. Because I don't want this to be another Giant situation where they pay Daniel Jones and then he's not good. And he doesn't play up to his contract and then you lose out on a player like Saquon Barkley because you're paying this guy $40 million a year.
I agree with what you're saying, Adam. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Correct. I don't either. But that's what, if I was the Packers,
I'm what's going to
happen. Like, okay.
Well,
but if I was if I was the Packers, that's what I do because it's like you've only given us once full season starting. Half of that season was really okay. You look like the guy, but again, you look like the guy. I don't pay someone $50 million a year because they look like a guy. I pay him $50 million a year because they are the guy.
I think they are. I think he is the guy, though. That's my faith, though, that he's the guy, because he is the guy. But that's just my opinion.
Right.
Daniel Jones, he had more consistent and more games being consistent at a high level, and the main issue is just that he got hurt. That was pretty much the main issue with him, and that was the Giants' supporting team. Because I would argue that if Daniel Jones was on the Packers last year, he would have played just as good as Jordan Love.
But obviously, without the torn ACL.
Well, yeah, without the injury, let's say. But he's got a shitty team around him. He's got shitty coaching around him, except for Dable, but he's not really doing shit because they don't have anybody to do anything with.
Well, they got McNeighbors now.
That's gonna be a big pickup, but I don't know. Jordan Love should not be demanding this money this early.
I agree. All right, moving on to the next player that is unhappy in his current situation. Brandon Aiyuk has officially requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. It is yet to be known if the 49ers will honor that trade request or keep him because it seems like they want him to stay in San Francisco, at least for this year, because contract negotiations are not going anywhere.
Well, maybe they should pay him then.
That's what I said for this year, at least.
Well,
Aiyuk deserves the money he's asking.
I don't know what he's asking. I don't know what his asking price is, but
a lot.
Whatever it is, max.
Max. This isn't the NBA. There's no max contracts.
There's no max contract.
There is a max for receivers.
Not really.
I mean,
it just keeps going up and up. Like Justin Jefferson resets it, and then the next receiver.
Yeah, but they have a set market though.
Not really a set market. You can pay him however much you want.
Technically,
it's unfortunate that Justin Jefferson just got paid. He's the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL now, so everyone's gonna be looking at that. Like CeeDee Lamb, he's looking at that.
Yeah, but
Aiyuk shouldn't be looking at that because he's not at that level. But
no, he's not getting Justin Jefferson money, but he might get, I don't know, a little bit less.
I think he's getting traded to the Commanders. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, he probably is.
Reportedly, he wants more than $25 million per year on his deal.
Well, they should pay him because he's actually been consistent and he's been
healthy,
very high level for 3 years.
I won't say high level, but he's been good enough to be their number one, especially since Debo has some injury history.
Oh, and he's just not good.
Wow. Okay.
We're Debo haters on this podcast, I guess.
He just hasn't been good in 3 years.
Okay, yeah, and Justin Jefferson's getting about 35 a year. So it's 10 million less than what he's getting. I don't know, it's just contracts have skyrocketed over the last couple of years, so I don't know what's like average level for, because to me paying 25 a year for a receiver is just outrageous. But again, that might be what the standard of the market is now. So
I mean, I think the Packers have one of the best receiving corps in the NFL, and they're like the least paid in the NFL.
It's because they're all rookies. So. They're all still on their literally almost
exactly.
All of the receivers are on the rookie contract.
You're just proving my point how easy it is to rebuild a receiving corps.
Yeah.
Why would we pay these guys $35 million a year if we can just go get some guy in the second round?
Yeah, but that's easier said than done.
And I feel like the 49ers expected this because they went in the draft and took at least 2 receivers that I can think of off the top of my head, Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cowing. So they knew something was going to happen. Obviously, they were coming in prepared.
Get rid of the drama, trade him. It'll be better for the team.
At least get something from out of him than
you got to trade him.
Not trading him, because obviously if contract negotiations aren't going anywhere right now, I doubt there's going to be a time where 49ers are like, okay, here's 25 a year.
His attitude is to the point where you have to just cut it off.
Especially you have to get him out of there.
Especially with how many people, like you got Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Debo is going to get money, McCaffrey, you got Trent Williams, who's
a lot of those guys, they have like 4 of the highest paid players at their positions. Right.
So they
have no money left.
Right. So just who's on their team and the contracts that are out there already. They don't really have the space to. Yep. Purdy's going to get paid too when his contracts come out.
Okay, what do you think he deserves if we're talking about Jordan Love's contract? How much do you think Purdy
More than
deserves?
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
He's just a facilitator in my
Okay,
eyes.
but he's
not
good.
the
He's
not the
able to lead
difference maker.
the offense and the team.
And he's
He's
been way
brought him
better
to
than
2
Jordan
NFC
Love.
championship
I'm not
games
saying he's not.
and
I'm
a
not
Super
saying he's
Bowl.
not better than Jordan Love. I'm just
I
saying
mean,
I don't think Purdy is going to take them past an NFC championship win.
He
He'll
already
go to
did.
the Super Bowl.
Oh, win. Okay.
He'll go to the Super Bowl, but I don't think he's ever going to win.
yeah, but then 99% of other quarterbacks won't do that either.
You're right, because there's only one team that can do that every year.
I don't
And
think
now
Jordan
Mahomes
Love can do that
I
either.
feel like if the Chiefs, if it was any other team than the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl, 49ers would have won that game.
But it
I was gonna
wasn't.
say like,
Or
Chiefs
if
are
Dre,
gonna be a-
or if
almost
Dre
won.
Greenlaw doesn't tear his Achilles running onto the field.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
that
they
that
almost
changed
won
the
that
game
shit.
quite a bit when he got out because he was a force for the 49ers defense that game.
Yeah,
he was all over the place. So
Yeah.
he stays on that field. I think Chiefs offense struggles a little bit more. But yeah, who knows? Things happen. But yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that Purdy is anything that good. Like, I don't think he's top 5 quarterback, but I think he's played very well, and I do think he deserves more than Jordan Love just because he's been consistently good for the past 2 full years, and just he was winning. He was not making too many mistakes. I mean, what else can you ask for him? I mean, from him, like, I don't know.
True. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback.
I mean, I don't think he's anything that good.
Yeah, talent-wise, he's probably not better than Jordan Love,
yeah.
but just
I mean,
in terms of what he brings to the team.
Winning.
No one ever thinks Tom Brady is the most talented quarterback
That's
ever.
incorrect. There's a lot of people that think that.
Some people probably do.
There's a lot of people that call him the best quarterback.
Well, he might be the best quarterback. He's not the most talented, though.
Oh.
I'm saying most talented at it.
There's definitely people that say he's. I've heard it, so.
No.
John Jake.
Dick riders, we know that. Like, come on now.
Anyways, sorry I cut you. What were you gonna?
People that think LeBron's the GOAT. It's what it is.
LeBron is the GOAT.
Okay.
Did Jordan's son ever play with him?
Was there horrendous nepotism when Jordan was playing?
Yeah, and Jordan had a son multiple who played basketball.
But they were well aware that they weren't good enough, and they were out of the basketball world. They were out of the basketball world before they even got to the draft. So.
Yeah, because they were fucking garbage.
Exactly. Bronny is not that good either.
He had 1 or 2 kids, I think. I don't know.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Those are his 2 kids.
Jimmy Butler, there's actually a lot of theories
from
about
Brandon Aiyuk to talking about Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Anyways, going back to Brandon Aiyuk, what are some trade targets that you have for him?
Commanders. Easy.
Commanders.
Does seem like he's interested in playing with Jaden Daniels again.
Well, he basically requested a trade to the fucking Commanders.
With everything he's been doing with him, yeah.
Yeah. Did he ever play with fucking Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, Arizona State for like a year.
I was gonna say, that's kind of crazy that Aiyuk's been in the league for fucking 5 years.
Yeah, I think it was Aiyuk's last season in Arizona was like Daniels' first season as a starter there. I don't know.
Okay. Or maybe they just knew each other on the team.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Jaden Daniels has been in college for quite a bit.
I know he's like 24, 23 years old. I guess I didn't think they played together.
Because I remember hearing about him like his second year at Arizona State.
But he wasn't very good.
No, and then all of a sudden he just came out of nowhere. I was like, okay.
And that's another big reason why I just didn't really. I didn't see the hype this year because he's been not very good for the past 4 or 5 fucking years.
And it sounds like a Commanders quarterback.
True.
Yeah, his last season at Arizona State was Jaden Daniels' first season there.
Did they play together? Check if Jaden Daniels started.
Yeah.
Oh, so they have a year of.
He was a starter for the 2019 season, first freshman quarterback to start for Arizona State. Opening week.
Okay.
Yeah, threw for 17 touchdowns and 2,900 yards that year.
He was in college for 5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was fucking mid for the first 4 years.
Then he won a Heisman out of nowhere because he was on a good team.
He shouldn't have won that shit anyways, but.
Having 40 touchdowns and 4 interceptions with 10 rushing touchdowns. And like 5,000 cumulative yards.
He won it because of Malik Neighbors.
Well, Malik Neighbors wasn't going to win Heisman, so.
No, I'm saying he won it because of his fucking receivers.
Okay. Who do you think should have won Heisman?
What?
Who do you think should have won Heisman then?
I forgot who I had.
I don't even remember who was.
I forgot who. I had someone else though.
Probably Penix. I think he was in it.
No, it might have been Penix. I don't know.
Yeah, Penix, Bo Nix, Marvin Harrison Jr. were the top 4.
Oh yeah, so I definitely wanted Penix or someone else out of the 4.
Michael Penix got second place with. Is that votes or points? I don't know. I think it's points.
Probably both. Yeah, Penix would be my vote then.
Yeah, Jane Daniels had like 2,000, and Michael Penix had 1,700.
Yeah, I just remember I did not want Jaden Daniels, but I mean he should be good with the Commanders, I guess. But I think he's gonna be a horrible fucking bust. Honestly, he's gonna be good enough.
Do you think Aiyuk would be a good fit for the Steelers?
Be a good fit.
No.
Considering they just traded away Deontay Johnson.
So. I don't like the Steelers.
Okay.
Steelers aren't doing shit, so that'd be kind of. I don't like that.
Okay.
Commanders at least because you'd go there and be the fucking wide receiver 2. So.
I mean, he'd probably be wide receiver 2 at Pittsburgh too, but.
You think so?
I don't think Pickens is better than him, but I think Pickens has I don't want to say chemistry, but a bigger presence with the offense, better relationship with the offense coordinator. But
there's 2 new quarterbacks coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said not better chemistry with the quarterback, but just a better understanding of the team and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I feel like the offense is going to completely change.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They got a new offense coordinator. But it's just he's been there longer. He's got a better relationship, a better standing in the building than Aiyuk does. Is kind of where I'm getting.
I guess. I just feel like with the Commanders, with Terry McLaurin, he'll be like a perfect running mate with him.
Right, especially after they lost Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, but he was hurt 90% of the time.
I just think with the Steelers trading away Deontay Johnson, that's kind of telling George Pickens you're going to be our number 1 guy. So if they bring in Aiyuk, you can't really be like, oh, just kidding, you're not our number 1 anymore.
But I think he would understand that he's not better than him, though.
Maybe. George Pickens has got that kind of personality.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. But
he's the best in the room, and doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
I'd say sometimes he is, but not if Aiyuk's there with him.
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. If he stays in San Francisco this year, or if he...
I don't know. Time for the 49ers downfall.
Definitely, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it since he's on my fantasy team. I got to know where he's...
Damn.
I got to know who's giving him the ball, you know?
He's be going to the fucking Panthers, and you're fucked.
Yeah, then it's GG's at that point.
He's going to go to, like, I don't even know. What's the worst team in the league? I don't even know.
Probably the Panthers.
Probably.
Yeah, but...
I'm sure.
He's going to go to a team that's going to screw your fantasy production.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens.
Hey, did we ever talk about the fantasy football draft?
When did we do that? That was no, because we haven't had an episode. We haven't had an episode since before the draft. Last time we've done anything was the draft live stream. So.
Oh yeah, so yeah, definitely not.
We haven't. You want to talk about that now, or do you want to just move on to?
We can talk about it.
Okay. Impromptu topic.
Little picks.
Talk about how Keon Coleman stole from me. That was tragic.
On accident. Oh wait, no.
No, that was Nelson accidentally taking Ladd McConkey instead. I don't know what Josh's first pick was Adonai Mitchell. That's right.
Yeah.
Because you traded back into the first round after trading literally every single one of your picks away.
Who did?
You.
You didn't have any of your original picks.
Like, okay, but I still had fucking 5 picks.
You did. Just
did.
That's crazy to think about.
We're admiring it.
Right. We're admiring the fact that you were able to you traded away all your picks and we're still able to have 5 picks in the draft.
Damn right, I was cooking.
Took Trey Benson in the first round. I had to get my handcuff for James Conner because he's going to be gone soon.
Yeah, I wanted him.
So I drafted Trey Benson. Then I got Marshawn Lloyd because he's going to be RB2 in Green Bay. Go.
RB1.
No, not pay Josh Jacobs and then that'd be crazy. Jermaine Burton, just in case T Higgins leaves, just probably gonna happen. And then I got
what's going on with him? That hasn't.
Well, I mean, he got franchise tagged. He seems like he's gonna play on it because he originally wanted an extension, and he's like, I'm not gonna play on the tag, and now he's like, I'll play on the tag, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, next pick.
And then I got Jacob Cowan, who after this Brandon Aiyuk thing might be a good choice. Then I got Darius Robinson and Will Shipley, who I think is gonna. It was a big sleeper. I got him in the 5th round. I think he'll be RB2 in Philadelphia.
RB2, you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's no one else there.
Gainwell?
I think he'll beat him out.
Okay.
And he's a good receiving back. A good change of pace. Well, I really don't want to say change of pace because Saquon can do almost everything.
Yeah, Saquon's got most of the running.
Yeah, it's more of a. Saquon needs some rest, and then Shipley's just gonna eat when that happens. So, Darren Sproles type player, but a little bit taller.
Okay, and then for my draft, in the 1st round, 10th pick, I drafted Adonai Mitchell, who I traded up in the 1st round to get.
I was kind of hoping he'd be there. If he'd followed me in the 2nd round, that would be nice.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
No.
And then at my 3rd pick, I drafted.
What about your 2nd pick?
3rd round pick.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I had a second.
No, you didn't have a 2nd, but I thought you meant like your 3rd pick.
No, because I traded my 2nd round pick to get up back in the 1st round.
Right.
And then I got my 3rd round pick. I drafted Jalen Polk on the Patriots. Should be a good pickup. And then my 4th round pick, I drafted Jalen Wright on the Dolphins.
I think he was like my 1A running back. It was like him and Trey Benson were at 1A, 1B for running back coming into the draft. And then he got drafted to the Dolphins. I was like, I don't think that's
it's not really a good landing spot, but
that's
I'm thinking
2 years.
Injuries happen.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because Mostert, I'm not expecting him to be there longer.
Right. That's why I said this is a pick for 2 years in the road when Mostert's off the team and he's RB2 behind A-Chain.
And I'm just thinking him and A-Chain could be kind of a good little compliment there.
But yeah, now that you bring up his injuries, because both of them were hurt last year.
Yeah.
Or if Mostert wasn't, he has injury history.
But he had a couple lingering injuries that last year too.
Right.
He just played. A-Chain played like fucking 4 games.
Yeah, he started the season on IR. And
he played good when he was playing, but he was hurt a couple times.
Because I remember he started the season on IR, and then he came back. The first week he came back, he popped off. But I was like, he's not going to do anything. So I just left him on my bench, and then he put up 70 points, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, he broke records or something. But that was against the Broncos, though.
Yeah.
So, And then my next pick, 4-6, was Troy Franklin, receiver from the Broncos. Speaking of, I don't know how he dropped that far. I really don't.
In our draft?
Yeah. Electric receiver.
Yeah.
Especially he's going to be the wide receiver 2.
He's going back.
Maybe wide receiver 1.
Not going back, but he's going to have that connection with Bo Nix still because both from Oregon.
Yeah. He might be the wide receiver 1. I don't know how he fell. And then next pick, who did I have? I had Theo Johnson, the New York Giants tight end. I drafted him because Bellinger's ass, and I thought Darren Waller was either going to retire or I thought he would just be hurt again all season.
And he did retire.
And he ended up retiring. So it was a good pick, but Theo Johnson, I believe, is hurt. So maybe not. We'll see. He should be the starting tight end if he plays. And then my next pick was Blake Watson on the Broncos, the receiving back. But she's also hurt, I guess, so I don't know. kind of shitty luck there with a couple injuries, but
as of 21 hours ago, Theo Johnson is expected to practice soon, so he should be back shortly.
Okay, I just remember him being hurt. And Blake Watson, I don't know if his injury was ever even announced either. It was just like he's hurt. And then let's see, do I have any undrafted rookies? No, I do not. And that is my team. And I tried trying to cook up some trades, people for rookies during the draft and after, but there's no luck with that. But that's my.
He had a slight or Blake Watson had a slight leg muscle tweak. That put him on the list.
Leg muscle.
So I don't.
Why the fuck's on the fucking pup list for that?
I don't know. Let's see, the pup list for training camp's a little different. Well, I think it's also just because he's technically on the active non-football injury list. So you can come off that whenever.
Okay. I just remember he got hurt and they didn't really say much about it.
Right. But I think with Sleeper, they don't have like an NFI icon but they're not on IR and they're on a list, so they just default them to the pup list. And I think training camp's different with the pup list. If you go on the pup list, it's not like you're definitely missing the first 4 weeks of the season type deal when you're originally put on it to start the
I've
season.
never really known how that shit works, so
they changed it almost every year, it seems like. So because IR before, if you were put on IR, you missed the whole season regardless. But now if you're put on IR, there's a minimum and you can come back. And apparently if you're a veteran or you're a certain amount of seasons in your career, if you get put on the IR before training camp, you're out for the season. Because that happened with one of the Saints tackles. He got put on IR and he's out. But there's other players that they get put on IR right now, they can come back. So
that makes no fucking sense. But that's just me.
So Ben, I had a pretty mid draft. I'll be honest with you. I had a very mid draft. If you are done, Adam.
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So, started out the first round. I was kind of in no man's land. I guess I'd call it a tier break. Ended up taking Malik Neighbors. I think he was best available at that
easily
1.04 spot.
Easily. I don't think tier break either, but
no,
not even close.
If he was in a better situation, if it wasn't Daniel Jones, who's just
I think he's in the best situation he can be in.
I mean, I guess he's wide receiver one on his team.
He's undoubtedly
one. Yeah. He's the only receiver on the roster that's competent.
What about Wan'Dale Robinson?
That's competent.
No, Wan'Dale Robinson's horrible now. He hasn't done shit.
All right. Then I'll be honest with you. I kind of got shafted in the second round. Definitely had a miscalculation.
You're welcome.
Overall, end up taking Drake May at 2.04, just to add to my quarterback depth since we moved to a super flex. Then I end up with Braylon Allen because Adam's a bitch. I took Marshawn Lloyd.
You could have taken him instead of Drake May, just saying, because Drake May would have been there at that next pick.
I thought you were gonna take Drake May.
No.
I looked at your team like I think he's going quarterback round 2.
Oh, you're wrong.
He did not. I was wrong. But I got Braylon Allen in the 2.6. I also want to remind everyone of a trade that me and Josh did pull off.
Okay, what's the trade?
I then flipped. So it was like, I don't even remember the trade. Huh? It was a draft day trade.
I'll find it. I know. I just don't know the details of it.
Okay, I'll keep going. We'll circle back to that. And then I got Bucky Irving. I needed some running back depth, so I got Bucky Irving in 3.4 because I have 4 of Josh's 6 picks, and he has 2 of mine. So I took Bucky Irving 3.4, and then I went linebacker. I kind of reached on linebacker just because I think he's a dog. He's the best linebacker in the draft. Edgerrin Cooper.
If you didn't take him there, I think I was going to take him at my next pick. So
at him.
Just letting you know, he wouldn't have lasted long.
Okay, fun trade.
I didn't reach too high then. And then my last pick was a 5.6. I took Luke McCaffrey. He's got good DNA, so
good DNA is crazy.
Okay.
Huh?
Saying you took him because he has good DNA is crazy.
The Lakers with Bronny.
It's a 5th round pick, Adam.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Washington doesn't have a lot of receiver help, so.
Yeah, he's in a good situation.
Not after Aiyuk gets traded there.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
He'll be a wide receiver 8.
Aiyuk wasn't a bitch when we drafted, okay?
True. Okay, I found the trade though.
All right.
Okay, so it was this is what I'm giving up. Zamir White, Michael Mayer, the second round, 4th pick, the 4th round, 4th pick, and then 2025 5th round pick. And that was what I gave up. And then Ben gave me Tyler Lockett, the 4th round, 2024 4th round pick, 6th pick, 2024 6th round pick, and then 2024 1st round 10th pick. So I moved up 5 spots in that draft, and then basically a lateral move in the 4th round, and I gave up Zamir White and Michael Mayer, and got Tyler Lockett.
Well, are you keeping Tyler Lockett?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not want Tyler Lockett. I want
not?
that to be known. I was just sick of him. I'm sick of his
I
production.
mean, I didn't really want Tyler Lockett either, but
I feel like he's a consistent producer.
He's not as consistent as you would think. The one week you play him, he drops 3 points.
I don't know. He's consistently mid.
Yeah, he's consistently mid.
I mean, he's a wide receiver too. So
he just never has the high ceiling ever.
And Geno Smith kind of struggled last year.
Like Tyler Lockett never has a high ceiling. Like, let's see.
I feel like 2 years ago he was pretty solid.
Last year he had 125-point week, and that was his highest, and 122-point week, and the rest of them were like 5, 14, 11, 7, 11, 8, 9, 8. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess technically
he just dropped off a little bit last year, I guess. Because from 2020 to 2022, he was top 15 receiver in fantasy.
You're right. Last year he was not a factor on my team, so I no longer had a use for him. I am so deep at receiver.
Like he had 4 straight years where he was top 15 receiver in fantasy, and then he dropped to 32 last year.
Let's see. Last year he was not. He was like 35 or something.
32, yeah.
Oh. He's getting up there in age, so I was like, you know what? Now might be a time to sell. So
yeah.
It's fine.
Well, my issue was I wanted to get him back in the 1st round, and then Zamir White I wanted to keep, honestly, because I think he's been pretty good.
Ben ended up trading Zamir White too.
I did him for Will Levis because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a horrible trade, Ben. Come on.
Huh?
You got robbed.
I did not get robbed.
I would have traded you a different player. I would have kept Zamir White.
Will Levis is going to be a top 10 quarterback in fantasy.
But you can't start them both. You have already 2 quarterbacks.
Tua is going to get hurt at some point. Let's be honest. I'm banking on that.
That's probably true, I guess. But you have Justin Herbert.
Better to
already.
have more options than not enough options, Josh.
Oh, I have like 8 quarterbacks, but I didn't trade for them.
I figured this was a free trade. I would have took. Honestly, wait, what is it?
I think Zamir White's gonna be a starting running back this year.
I like Michael Mayer too. It sucks that they just got another tight end.
I liked him until they drafted fucking Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
I liked him until then.
That trade definitely worked out on my part.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, the trade worked out on my part too, Adam, because now I traded it.
That's fair.
Michael Mayer to Ben before the draft.
Yeah. I don't know. This trade was so I only traded back 5 picks, so I was like, meh, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good trade, honestly. We kind of cooked it up there, but I don't know. Okay, next topic.
Move on to NBA now.
Okay.
Josh, you have a few draft picks. So the NBA draft happened, and Josh has a few thoughts on good picks.
So I have the biggest reach. I have a couple biggest reach. I have a couple of favorite players. And yeah. So the biggest reach I had was the top 2 picks, Zach Richardson and Alex Sarr. Those are my 2 biggest reaches. I didn't like either of them coming in to the draft. I thought they're both extremely overrated, and I just don't see it. I've done my own scouting, I've done watching. Yeah.
Alex Sarr also did not look that great in summer league, at all.
No, he was horrible in summer league. But I just wasn't gonna say that because summer league is just they're just getting to know the league.
I just felt like I wanted to bring it up.
The draft. Yeah. So Like I even have my draft rankings. Like you can see I'm not high on either of them.
Mhm.
You can it's clear.
Who'd you think was should have been number 1 pick then?
Matas Bazelos.
Okay.
That's who I would have picked number 1. But here,
He fell. I mean, I know he fell to Chicago. I don't remember where Chicago picked though.
I think 11 maybe. But I didn't even have Alex R ranked as the number 1 center. Actually, I had him at power forward because he was being a bitch about being center. But I had him as the 3rd ranked power forward in my class.
Would you have
Ron Holland?
You're gonna say that anyways.
Deron Holmes, who unfortunately is out for the season with an injury.
Stuff.
But he was one of my favorite players in the draft. And then I had XR 3. So,
when did those 2 players get drafted?
Deron Holmes like 30.
Okay.
To the Nuggets, and then Ron Holland was to the Pistons, right? Yeah, to the Pistons.
See, I didn't know he was a power forward. I thought he was just like a small forward or something like that.
I mean, I view him as a power forward.
Okay.
I don't know. For my position rankings, I just kind of did it like how I view him.
What's his measurables?
Ron Holland, I think he's like 6'9".
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's an athletic. Yeah, he's in the Pistons. 6'8", 6'9", athletic. He can't shoot. He's a defender. I mean, I just viewed him as easily a power forward. I mean, 6'8", 200. Some say 6'9", but he's like a pretty built 200. Like he's a pretty strong dude. But yeah, and then for my small forwards, I had Rizichet at 3 behind Matas Bazelos and Dalton Connect. So I don't know. I thought those were easily the 2 biggest reaches because I don't know. I don't even think they're top 2 at their position, let alone in the draft.
Right.
But I don't know. Overseas, they just give them a chance, I guess. And then my biggest, what's it called? Steal is Matas Bazelos again, and then Jonathan Mogbo on the Raptors, who was my favorite player in the draft. He wants the Raptors. 6'7", big man, power forward center.
That's 6'7".
Steal of the draft. Yeah, he's 6'7".
Seems short for power forward center, doesn't it?
Oh, he's small, but he was like top in blocks and rebounds in college.
Oh, okay.
And I think he led the country in dunks too. Like I don't know. Actually, I should wear my Mogul shirt. I have a shirt.
Yeah, you should have.
I'll wear it for the next podcast. But he's my favorite player in the draft, and he was the first pick of the 2nd round. So I don't know. He's just extremely good. And then my favorite teams for the draft, probably the Raptors, who got Jacoby Walter, and then Mogbo, and then Jamal Shed too, and then probably
I saw a post that had like grades for the summer league,
and
they had the Raptors like. Oh, here we go.
They had them pretty high.
Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mogbo, D+.
Yeah, not true. I didn't watch much summer league, so.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it could be true, but I'm just going based off the player analysis and the picks. The summer league, I don't know. The past couple years, I haven't been interested in it, and it's just because it's on all different times too. But then, oh yeah, and Khalil Ware too is one of my bigger steals on the Heat. I don't know.
You got me interested in him, so.
Yeah, I've been interested in him since last year when he was coming out of what was it, Oregon or something?
Baylor, I think.
Baylor?
No, it was Oregon.
One of the green.
It was Oregon.
One of those like green teams. One of those.
So I remember watching, and they had that fancy court. I know Oregon has a bunch of. They like to do fun stuff.
I don't know. He was one of my favorite players last year, and then he decided to stay back, and then went to Indiana, and he just played his ass off, and then still, I don't know. I thought he should have been. I think he was my 3rd ranked center in the class. I think he should have been drafted a lot higher, and he just.
He's still a 15th overall pick. Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
13.
Yeah, but he's not Giannis.
Fair enough.
But, yeah.
Should have played with Giannis though. That'd been kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. And then the worst team I think was the Hornets drafting Tajon Saloon. Like that's another overseas player that he shows me nothing. Like people are comparing him to Giannis. He's like the opposite of Giannis. Like he's not even close to Giannis. He just didn't perform overseas. He can't really play defense. He missed like hundreds of layups. Like he missed like the most layups in the country. And not even in the country, in the world probably, because he played overseas. Like he missed so many layups. I mean, he dunked a lot of stuff when he couldn't, but he couldn't make the layup. And he just, I don't know. He's a raw potential player, but
Okay.
just I don't think he'll be good.
Well, next topic. The USA Olympic team. They have started some exhibition games to prepare for the Olympics coming up in tomorrow, I think, is when it
It's like
technically
a couple
starts.
days now.
They won all their games, but a couple of them were closer than they should have been, especially the game against South Sudan, where they only won by a point and they were down like quite a bit going in the half, right? It was double digits, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. The only one because LeBron was clutched it up.
Yeah. I mean, it was close against Germany, which is expected. Germany has a good team. Same with Canada. They are also pretty good.
Very good.
I think they still killed Canada.
Canada could win silver.
Yeah, they beat them by 14? 14.
I think they.
It's close against Australia, which is surprising because when I looked, they were blowing them out, and then Australia came back.
Patty Mills is a dog, man.
But yeah, Australia also has they've been good for a while. Or should I say good? Is that a good word to use? Or solid? In contention for golds at all the world basketball events. But yeah, so I mean they won all their games. I don't know. I didn't watch any of the games, so I don't know if they look good.
Yeah, I don't either.
It'll be interesting to see how far they can make it into the Olympics if they can bring home the gold. There was a lot of talk.
They don't, it'll be a disappointment.
Yeah, for sure. There's Steph Curry, LeBron, Tatum, who just came off NBA Finals. KD's will be back for the Olympics. That's true. Missed every exhibition game, but
hey, he was a bitch for calling out Nike for not letting him in the trailer.
I didn't see that.
Or not the trailer, the commercial. They made a Nike Olympic commercial, and he was mad that he wasn't in it.
Is he a Nike athlete?
He has Nike shoes.
Okay, I didn't know because I know there's players that like what was it? Was it Reebok or? Okay, I just didn't. I'm not that big in the.
Oh, yeah, he's a Nike athlete, but the issue is they already had LeBron and Wembanyama in the video, so.
Okay, we can't have 3 people in the.
No, because it was all the sports.
Oh, okay. Like every Olympic sport they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like every Olympic sport, so it's like you can only have so much for each sport.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, he was being a bitch about it.
Because was it Jordan that blocked up the logo on the jersey years ago? Okay. Yeah. I just remember during one of the Olympic ceremonies, there was a player that wrapped himself in the American flag to block off the.
That was Jordan.
Okay. Because there's a logo on his jersey that wasn't Nike, and he's like, no.
Yeah. He was hiding Reebok. You're right. You guys think it's BS that Jaylen Brown isn't on the team?
Nah.
Not really.
I mean, he just won a Finals MVP.
Cool.
Yeah, but they don't need more star players. They need role players.
Right, because if you have too many star players, you got too many people.
I'm surprised there's not more role players. Yeah. Derek White fits the role player Olympic team. And Langston Galloway's on the team. No one's complained about him.
No, because no one mentions that. Because every roster I see, I don't see Langston Galloway on any graphic.
He's on the roster.
Oh,
he's like on the actual Olympic roster. Like, I don't know why they don't mention it.
Yeah, that's never brought up in any of the like all the graphics I've seen. They don't have anything with Langston Galloway on it, so I didn't even know he was on the team.
Yeah, he's on it. Like,
well, Kawhi's leaving the team. There was a lot of talk that was Clippers motivated. Do you think any of that's true?
I'm not sure.
I honestly think Kawhi could have just been like, on that day, he's just like, I don't feel like doing this, and just left.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, update. Lance Galloway is not on the actual team. He just played with the Team USA team.
Okay.
But he was on the select team.
They had the U18 or 19-year-olds
playing.
The NBA select or the USA select team, yeah.
Yeah, he's on the select team. But the thing is he was a sub on the actual Olympic team. Like he was playing on the Olympic team in some of the scrimmages.
Okay.
So it's a fair mishap because
he was playing with them, but not.
He was playing literally with the Olympic team. Like he wasn't playing against them like the rest of the. Right. Yeah, but still, okay, my bad.
There's a couple of Badgers that were on that USA select team.
Micah Potter
and Nigel Hayes.
Nigel Hayes was on the select team.
That's crazy.
There is no way.
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy.
How the hell was he on?
I was surprised. Yeah, they showed the roster. I was like, how did Nigel Hayes get on this team? Apparently he's going. Apparently he's going crazy overseas. I saw he dropped 50 some points. I think one of the.
Dude's a dog.
I'm also shocked he's only 29. I feel like he's 34 at this point.
I thought he'd been younger. I guess.
Yeah, he has the record for most
when he got drafted.
Most points scored in a EuroLeague game.
I don't think he got drafted.
Points. Yeah, he was undrafted. Got signed by the Lakers.
I'm surprised he's that. I thought he's 26.
Or technically the Knicks, probably. But
shout out Nigel Hayes.
I think his issue was he just couldn't hit free throws. That's why he.
His issue was that he was between positions. He played I don't even know what position. That's the issue.
At Wisconsin, he played flex, and he was playing the whole fucking game. It felt like.
Yeah, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. He just kind of played. I don't even know.
I mean, yeah, in 2015-16, he averaged 36 minutes a game. I don't know how long a college game is, but
40.
Yeah, I would say
halves.
With him, he was never really a shooter that he could shoot a little bit, but
he was a solid mid-range shooter.
I just mean from three.
No, yeah.
He was a
33% career 3-point shooter in college.
That's not bad.
I mean, that's not bad.
But 66% free throw.
Yeah, he was never really a defender. He was never really too much of a playmaker. He was just.
He was there.
Decent and just in a weird spot. I don't know. Okay, anything else for Olympics?
No, that's all I got.
No, that's all I got.
Oh yeah, shout out Carlik Jones. Shout him out. He deserves the guy who dropped a triple-double on South Sudan.
Oh, okay.
He deserves to be back in the league. I mean, he's been in the league for 3 years, but he deserves to be playing
in the actual NBA instead of the G League.
Yeah, because he was killing the G League the past couple of years, but I don't know. He's a small guy, so I mean, he deserves the backup point guard spot. He just does. Put him on the Bucks. He'd be better than whoever the backup point guard is going to be.
I don't even know. They signed a guy. I think it's Delon Wright, right?
Oh yeah, Delon Wright. He can play shooting guard though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Well, after Pat Bev left, so just get him in there backup point guard.
Speaking of the Bucks, we could talk about someone they just signed, Gary Trent Jr.
Oh yeah.
Get some shooting on that team, some chemistry with Dame. They played together a couple years in Portland.
Yeah, he always kills the Bucks.
Well, now he doesn't have to kill the Bucks anymore.
Yeah, but we'll see if it translates because he's always turning the fucking Klay Thompson against the Bucks somehow.
He was solid in Portland, I remember.
Yeah, and they traded him away for no reason
because they like to trade away their good young players.
They traded him for Norman Powell, they traded away 2 months later for Robert Covington, I think.
That was horrible. They ended up trading him away too.
That was horrible. The Trailblazers are so poverty.
Good thing I'm not a fan of them anymore, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that'll be a good signing for him. I think he's a better shooting guard than Malik Beasley. And since
he's better at everything but shooting.
Than Malik Beasley, you think so? I feel like that's
everything but shooting. Yeah.
I feel like that's Gary Trent's best part of his game is shooting.
Yeah, but Malik Beasley only shot.
That's true.
That's it. He did zero else. He didn't play defense. He couldn't fucking make a layup. He couldn't pass.
Gary Trent's a good defender, right?
He's above average.
Okay. Because I've seen mixed. Because I thought he was solid when he was in Portland, but I didn't really watch that many. I only see highlights, and people don't show highlights of defense. So.
Yeah. He was a pretty lockdown defender in college, Duke.
Because I kept seeing mixed responses on Twitter. Everyone's like, there's a couple people, oh, he's a good defender, and other people are like, he's not good. What are you talking about?
Well, it's just an opinion, because that's just like fully an opinion. Like,
right.
Like, good defender or not is just an opinion.
Okay.
That's just like eye test, unless you're looking at advanced analytics, which sometimes that's not right. Because like Hassan Whiteside, which he led the league in like blocks how many years, he was always like horrible analytics for defense. So it's like, and so some people thought he's the best defender ever. So it's like, I don't know. It just depends what you value and what you look at, I guess. I don't know. But I always thought he was above average.
It also depends on matchups, because if you're a good interior defender, but you're always getting stuck with centers that play a more outside game, obviously your analytics are gonna.
True.
Your effectiveness is gonna look worse because you can't defend the outside shots, but you're a great interior defender, and you're not used there frequently. So yeah.
Yeah, like with the Hassan Whiteside example, he wasn't even a great interior defender. Like, he just wasn't. He was like a horrible interior defender.
Oh, well, I figured that's why he'd have all his blocks, but
no, he got the blocks because he jumped at everything, and it would cause him to get how many fouls. And like he would just block hunt. That's all Hassan Whiteside would do, is block hunt. So he'd be lighting up points on half his possessions, because especially if he can't get the block, he's doing nothing.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. That's why it's like weird, because I don't know. That's why he never won any defensive player of the year, I don't think. Even though he was in the conversations.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Gary Trent can help the team out. Maybe add some more consistent shooting so they can be more effective. Because that was a part that kind of killed them last year, I feel like, is they just weren't consistent. So when the 3-point was off, it's just the whole team was off.
And Beasley disappeared second half of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was in the 3-point contest because he had the highest 3-point shooting in the NBA, or percentage in the NBA, and then all of a sudden he's just gone after that.
I was gonna say, I don't even know if he did anything in the second half of the season. Like, seriously.
All right, another player that
I don't know. I don't think the Bucks are doing shit this year.
You don't think they are?
No. Unfortunately, I don't.
They do.
I don't see the potential of it. Chris Middleton, he just had surgery on both his ankles. It was a minor surgery, but like, it's not a good sign. And then Giannis can't carry the team completely. I don't think Dame really fits with Giannis or Chris Middleton really that much. Like, I just don't think the team fits well together. Brook Lopez is past his prime. Portis is a black hole on offense and can't play defense. Like, and there's no money. They have no money. Both players they drafted were
no
young.
Assets to trade, to get any trades.
0 assets, no picks. I mean, I like Tyler Smith and AJ Johnson, but they're both young and they probably won't do much this year. But I don't know. I don't see it with the Bucks right now at all.
I feel like they need to get a younger center, and that just didn't happen.
Yeah, but because they don't have any way to do it.
They don't have. You're right. But
like,
it's unfortunate.
I don't know. I just
Brook Lopez is just not.
No.
Unless they kind of just have to trade away. It would have been after you traded for Dame, you would have had to get rid of either Milton or Brook Lopez to get some sort of pick return, and then have a decent draft this year, and then hope that.
I don't know. If I was the Bucks GM, Lopez would be gone, Portis would be gone, Pat Connaughton, Beauchamp, basically half the roster, and just you need new pieces. Like,
that's the thing. You would have had to do that after you got Dame, like right after the Dame trade.
I was doing that last year.
Because if you do it this year, it's too late. Because now you're scrapping this year essentially.
Yeah.
Or just hoping that Giannis, Dame, and now Gary Trent, I guess, kind of can bring you somewhere. Yeah. But they're not going to get you a championship.
I just don't think there's any chance. No. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like we're becoming a team that's like, I don't even know, like the Hawks a couple years, like 10 years ago, like when they were just consistently pretty good, and then they never did anything. Like, that's how I feel like
relying too much on superstars and not having a lot of role players.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like the Nets a couple years ago. I feel like,
Actually, yeah, that's a
because all they had was Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, and then if one of them got hurt, you're just kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that theirs was just injuries though.
Yeah.
Like for all three of them. But I don't know. I'm a Bucks fan, and I might come off as a hater right now, but I just gotta say it. I don't know.
I just think one of the biggest issues was Giannis and Dame didn't really have that great of chemistry in terms of playmaking and getting the ball to each other.
They just took turns.
So hopefully this year they'll figure it out. You know, in training camp or practice, whatever they call it.
I just feel like even if they figure it out,
off-season,
every other the rest of the pieces just aren't really.
Yeah, I don't know. Even if they do figure that out, it's just they don't have.
I pick I could probably pick multiple teams in the East over the Bucks. Like in the West for sure, multiple teams in the West, especially the Sixers this year. Now I'd much rather have the Sixers, even with they have less depth than the Bucks do. The Sixers do. Like I'd still pick them if they're healthy. That's just a big if they're healthy though.
Yeah, because they got Paul George now.
Yeah,
is Tobias Harris still on the team?
No, he's in the Pistons.
Okay. I thought he left. I just couldn't remember where he went.
Yeah, but the Sixers got a couple other pickups. They got brought back Oubre.
Okay.
They brought back a couple people. They traded Paul Reed or cut him, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how the season goes. Also, I'm pretty much out on the Cavs. The Cavs are dead to me. Donovan Mitchell ruined my Cavs love.
You're just no longer a Cavs fan?
Or... I don't know. Probably not. Donovan Mitchell he's not it. Like,
and he just got paid too, so he's gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, that's why I'm out. Like,
they just paid Evan Mobley too.
Yeah, Evan Mobley deserves it though. Donovan Mitchell, he's good, but he needs the ball in his hands 90% of the time. And then it ruined Darius Garland completely. The year before Donovan Mitchell got there, he was an all-star. He was one of the best young players in the league. And then Donovan Mitchell, I mean, they just don't fit well together at all. And then the Cavs just don't know what they're doing, I don't think. So
another player that got moved was Westbrook. He got traded to the Jazz. I don't remember what the Clippers got in return.
Money, I think.
Okay. And then they had a buyout. And then now he's going to sign with the Nuggets. So Westbrook
should be a good pickup.
Will be on the Nuggets.
Good.
Jamal Murray's their point guard, right? Not a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christian Braun is a shooting guard.
Okay.
After KCP left.
Where'd he go?
Magic. He got like $20 million a year.
Can Jamal Murray play shooting guard, or is he?
I mean, I guess, but I would play that point guard. Westbrook needs to come off the bench.
Okay.
I think, but especially because he's not a shooter. He's not really a defender. I just feel like bring him in, have him be like a roller, a cutter. He can set screens. He can cut to the basket. He can dunk like crazy. He's still athletic. Have him a little bit of secondary playmaking, a little bit of rebounding. If he plays like the Bruce Brown role from a couple years ago, I think it could be a really good pickup. Just like the secondary playmaking once in a while, a little bit of everything.
Right. Good leader for the bench crew.
Yeah. Bench leader. Like, I think it could be a really nice pickup. But if he comes in expecting to start and be a star player again,
I think he's definitely past that point in his career where he can be even like a third star on the team.
Yeah, I don't think he can be a top 5 star on the team.
This definitely feels like a part of his career where he's trying to build his legacy and get that ring.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go to the Celtics, honestly. They might not have wanted him.
No. I mean, what? He's got to compete with Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Well, more Peyton Pritchard, because Derek White plays shooting guard.
Oh, okay.
But I guess, yeah.
Well, after that playoff run Peyton Pritchard had, I don't know if he's going to take his spot.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard's been pretty decent, so.
What, he had 3 half-court buzzer beaters?
Yeah,
in the playoffs?
Something like that, probably. I don't know. I just wouldn't have went to the Nuggets because I don't really think they're going back for a championship.
I think they could.
I don't think so.
I think because the West is kind of. It's not like the East where it's pretty much like the Celtics and all the 76ers. And maybe the Bucks if they can figure something out with scheme wise. But in the West, it's like Knicks. Yeah, now that they got Michael Bridges. I always forgot. McCall?
Yeah,
Mikal Bridges.
Like
I really like the Knicks this year.
Yeah, the Villanova Knicks.
Yeah. But they need a center.
Yeah, they lost Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah, and what was his name? Mitchell Robinson's hurt 85% of the year.
Did they have a first round pick this year, or did they trade that away in there?
Yeah, they had a couple picks. I just forgot. They got
Okay.
A couple younger guys. I think Tyler Kolek's on the Knicks too.
That would have been a good pick for the Bucks, I think.
I don't know. I like AJ Johnson, so.
Was he someone they drafted?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's
just because they had a guy in their team already that. What was his name?
Andre Jackson.
Andre Jackson. So yeah, it's
good.
like AJ Johnson, Andre Jackson.
Everyone, all the Bucks fans, remember this when they all hated on the pick. They said, "Who's this?" They said, "Terrible pick." They said he averaged 2 points a game. Yeah. Just remember that. Dude was a top 5 player coming out of high school. Decided to go to the NBL for whatever reason. They never played him.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I saw with I heard about with the NBL is that they really like to play the older, known players in that league.
For no reason.
Give the young guys a chance, even if the young guys are better.
Well, it's because the young guys they don't have any kind of repertoire with the coaches there, and then they're probably gone after a year or two. So I guess I just don't know why you'd go to NBL.
Is that an Australian league?
Yeah, New Zealand and Australia.
Kind of sounds like their national team.
Yeah, I think it's called.
Matisse Thybulle got cut for Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah, but Thybulle's not very good.
He's a good defender.
Yeah, but Delly might be actually better for that.
Really?
He might be. I don't know. I haven't watched Dellavedova in a couple of years.
Yeah, I feel like he was past that point in his career.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ Johnson, all the Bucks fans were hating on him. Just get ready. 6'5", combo guard, top athleticism, defender, scorer. He's like a young De'Aaron Fox. Young bigger De'Aaron Fox. Just get ready.
That's if Doc Rivers plays him, but.
Well, I'm not saying for this year. Doc Rivers will be fired next year, so it's gonna be the new coach playing him. Okay. Once the old guys are gone.
So now we'll move on to MLB. We'll start with the standings update. Kind of just who's in the playoff race, or I should say who's in the playoff picture right now, and then maybe a couple teams that are contending. Ben, do you want me to read that off, or do you want to?
You can read it off.
Okay.
You're good.
Right now in the American League, we have the Guardians, who are in first place in the Central. The Orioles, first place in the East. And the Astros have come back from the basement of the West to take over first place. It's kind of neck and neck with them and the Mariners right now. Yep. I don't know how many games out there are. Pull that up real quick. A game back. I know they just had a series and they kind of kept flipping back and forth first place there. And then the wild card, we have Yankees, Twins, and Royals. And then we have, there's a few teams in the race still. Tigers are at the bottom with not bottom of them, but what I consider still in the race, 6 games out. Because after that, it's like the Blue Jays at 9 and then 10.5 for the Angels. I feel like they're kind of at the point their team isn't good enough to kind of just turn things around to get them in the playoff picture. Then Rangers at 5.5, Rays at 4.5, Mariners at 3.5, but I think they're more of a have to win the division to get in. And then the Red Sox, they're a game out of the wild card. And then in the National League, the Phillies are winning the East, which was not what I expected coming into the season. I figured the Braves would have that. Dodgers are first in the West, and the Brewers are winning the Central.
Yep.
And then the wild card, we have Braves, Mets, and Cardinals. And then there's a whole bunch of teams. 7 teams still in the race for the wild card. Padres are tied technically. Diamondbacks half a game out. Pirates a game out. Reds 4 games out. Giants are 4.5. Cubs are 5 games out, and the Nationals are 6 games out.
So whose predictions are closest?
That it's kind of like all over the place, honestly.
Season's not over yet, Josh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
Josh,
saying
you'll really only have one technically right, but you have 2 playoff teams. I think I didn't think the Royals 3
Damn.
playoff teams because you had the
I'm
Royals
gonna
win the
click eight.
Central, but they're in the wild card. You had the Guardians in the wild card; they're winning the Central. Then you had the Yankees in the wild card for the AL, and then the NL. You had the Dodgers, Brewers, Phillies wild card team. They're all winning a division or leading a division.
That counts.
And you had the Mets winning the division. They're in a wild card, I'm pretty sure.
That counts. I'm
Yes.
actually kind of cooking then.
And then I have Orioles, Guardians, and they're winning their divisions, and they're in the lead right now. I have Yankees, Mariners as 2 of my wild card teams, or Yankees, Royals. I mean, 2 wild card teams. That's correct. I have almost all of my wild or teams for the NL. The Phillies, Dodgers, Brewers, Braves had them all in the playoffs. Cubs and Reds are not in it yet, but anything can happen. And then Ben also has Orioles, Guardians, right, and then Yankees
Benjamin
for his wild card. And then he had Dodgers, Brewers, Braves. We're all in the playoffs right now. And he had Mets as one of the wild card teams. We're in it. That's about it. So what? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's got 7, correct. Playoff teams, correct. Josh, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You also have 7.
Damn.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8.
Oh damn. Okay, get us on the air over here.
Huh?
We predicted all the MLB teams.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. We didn't. I mean, we're all in on the Royals. I don't remember when we made these predictions though. I think the season already started.
I think we were like a week or 2 in. Sounds right.
I don't know, but yeah, that was a lot to keep track. I doubt anybody kept track of that. But so, speaking of the wild card, the NL wild card race, as I mentioned, it's pretty close. 7 teams out of the wild card picture right now, but still in the race. So really, we have 10 teams that could get a wild card spot by the time the season's over. Ben, do you have any thoughts on potentially what may happen? Or you were talking about some teams that might exit the picture because they might be sellers coming up in this trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple teams where it's just like, I don't think they can afford to go all in, so they'll either do nothing or sell, and doing nothing is basically the same as selling in my eyes. Do the Rays sell? Because they're at 500,
I think
but
they
they're
will.
also fourth in their division.
Yeah, and
They've been known to go on hot streaks, and they could, but I mean, I don't know. It feels like there's not a lot of sellers this year.
not a lot of obvious sellers.
Yeah,
Because the bad teams are bad because they don't have anybody.
there's gonna be some tough decisions for some GMs.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
The thing is, the Rays are 500 and they have a negative 67 run differential.
Yeah,
Like
they
that's
just get smacked when they lose. They
yeah,
get fucked.
kind
Yeah,
of like the Red Sox did yesterday.
yeah.
Lost 20
It
to
happens.
7.
That's baseball.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
like,
because I've seen reports that the Rays may be sellers because Zach Eflin. I saw a couple people
yeah, maybe they can
expecting
offload
to
a
be
couple
traded.
pieces.
Randy Arozarena, I saw they might try to trade. I mean, not that they're
He
interested
hasn't
in
been making
trading him,
the
just
trade.
that like playoff contending teams may try to trade for him to improve.
They'll shoot him some offers for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a delicate balance.
But like the thing is, the teams that are bad, like we said, don't really have like the White Sox have a few pieces they
They
could
have
try to trade.
3 pieces.
Yeah, it's
I
about
mean,
3. Yeah, there's Luis Robert, and there's 2 pitchers, Crochet
yeah,
and don't know. I don't want to butcher a guy's name. Say it, mispronounce it. Fed.
yeah.
I'm gonna say Fed. Probably
Right.
Feddy or whatever. But
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah, it's be. We'll get.
It's a tight wild card race in both leagues.
Yeah,
Very, very tight still. So I
we
don't
can
know if
get.
anything's going to change in the next 5 days to really make it obvious for these GMs, but
Right.
I would hate to be the GM of the Pirates, of
I don't
the
think the Pirates
Diamondbacks. I
would
mean,
sell because they're young.
they're not going to sell. They're
So I
too
think they
young to
should.
sell,
Right. But they're
but I
also too young
wouldn't.
to buy.
They're too young to buy. That's kind of where the Brewers are right now. They're they're in first place. So, and they obviously need starting pitching, but they're not going to give up
Right. They're not going to go get the
a
Tariq
top
Skubal
prospect.
or the Garrett Crochet,
No.
the players
So I
that
mean,
teams are asking top prospects for.
we already got Aaron Savale,
Mm-hmm.
who is a
Dallas Keuchel.
mid tier, yeah, and Dallas Keuchel. We got him for free. We paid $1 for him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I could see him
So
going
I
out to
mean,
get a pitcher though, like Jack Flaherty potentially, or
yeah,
Zach
a
Eflin,
mid
as
tier
we
guy, a
right
mid tier guy.
older mid tier guy who
We love
won't
trading with
tank.
the Rays too. We love trading with the
Oh, yeah.
Rays.
That's where Savali came from.
Yeah, I don't know. They definitely don't need anything on the offensive side,
No,
which is good. I'm pretty
well,
sure the White Sox are going to want to
might need
bundle
an
their.
outfielder, but you never
Oh,
know. An
well, that's
experienced outfielder, should say, because
you don't need that.
no,
No, no. The depth they have at outfield is ridiculous. It's an embarrassment of riches because they don't know how to draft. So,
well they do know how to draft, but they just only draft outfielders.
well, then you don't know how to draft if you
Oh, okay.
stockpile one area.
Oh, it sounds like the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That was them for a couple years. They needed starting pitchers, but in the first round, they're just like, nope, let's get a shortstop when we already have 3 of those. Let's get a outfielder when. Okay, guys, get catchers
It's like
or
drafting
pitchers
center
here.
7 straight years in a row as an NBA team. It's just like, why are we doing this every year? I liked who they picked up this year in the draft. I'm pretty sure they just went pitching like the first three
That's what
three
the Red
picks.
Sox said finally. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think they took an outfielder in the first round, but that's because I think he was like a top 5 guy that fell to wherever they were picking. So it's like, okay, why not?
Yeah.
And then
I'm
it
pretty
was
sure the
just,
Brewers are learning lessons right
and then it
now.
was just pitching. I was like, that's what I like to see.
The Brewers are just like, huh, it really sucks to not have a Corbin Burns
Yeah,
and a Brandon Woodruff and a Freddie Peralta. So, well,
yeah, I could see because I mean the Red Sox are in a weird situation because they're a game out of the wild card, but they're like way out from winning the division,
mm-hmm.
and the team's also not good enough to make any kind of movement in the playoffs if they do get a wild card spot. So it's
You
like
never know when these teams are going to go on a
that's
run.
true, but I just
Never do.
with what they have at pitching and who they have for offense, they have a couple good bats, but outside of that, it's just super inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do you make a move to add like a halfway decent bat? Because they could use second baseman. They're not strong there, at least MLB wise. They have a couple good young guys. But do you get a Jonathan India or there's a couple other infielders that are
Yeah.
available that I can't think of, but also kind of
There are
like
some
where the
guys on the
Brewers
Cubs and Reds I want, and then it's just like, well, they're not going to trade him to the Brewers,
right.
so
Or there's a couple, pitchers that we mentioned earlier that are older but probably going to be cheaper, like the Zach Eflin and Flaherty that the
Mhm.
Red Sox could potentially. They definitely need bullpen help though, because their bullpen is atrocious. I think personally.
I don't know what the Brewers do with their bullpen, but they're pretty fucking good at
They're
it.
all yeah. They
They're,
always have dudes
they
in their
always are good.
like. I've never heard of them, but they start pitching and it's just like, oh, he's a guy.
He's a guy now, yeah. If fucking Tyler McGill, he came up from the system.
Really? I thought
Like,
they traded from.
no.
I feel like he was somewhere else.
He wasn't good when we traded for him. He might have been like a side piece.
Okay. Wow.
You might be thinking of Payamps or one of those.
Because I remember seeing McGill on like a different team. I was like, he looks. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. But yeah, so there's definitely.
Brewers do love trading for really mid relievers, and somehow it works out for them.
A lot of talks that the Orioles may try to get one of those big time pitchers like Skubal and Crochet because they have a deep farm, so they can afford him.
They can. I don't really love the idea of them trading Jackson Holiday already, but
that's the thing. They don't have to because they have other guys below him that would be a top prospect in literally probably any other farm system.
Yeah, I don't know. They rush Jackson Holiday way too much for no fucking reason.
That's the thing because you get rewarded with another draft pick if you call up a guy within a year drafting him. I think.
Oh.
So it's kind of why the Pirates called up Skeens, but he was also obviously ready for it. But
oh yeah, he's a dog.
I mean, speaking of Skeens, like he's on my list of topics. So, I mean, we might as well get into this now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog. He obviously said it. I mean, I didn't think he would be a bust, but it's kind of like there's not a lot of players I see this amount of hype in terms of prospects for MLB. So I was just kind of like weary of it because it's like I don't really see people. Right. It's like, is he really going to be that good? Like they're hyping him up a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, the answer was in fact yes.
He can throw 100 miles an hour fastballs on the regular.
Yeah,
with
there was
disgusting stuff. He has a hot ass girlfriend.
We didn't.
So his confidence is great. Adam, that has something to do with his performance. All right.
Okay. If you believe that, I'll let you believe that.
I do. Josh, would you like to weigh in here?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
For sure thought we were gonna get something there. Yeah, I mean,
started the All-Star game as a rookie.
Started the All-Star game as a rookie.
Only the fifth one to do it. The last one I think was in the 80s, so it's been a while since it's happened.
Too bad his team's gonna suck. That really is unfortunate.
Just recently he got his first loss of the season. I think he only allowed 2 runs. Pitched like 8 innings.
That happens. Yeah.
Got his first loss.
Pirate's gonna pirate. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
To be fair, the Brewers do that too, constantly. I would like to talk about Tobias Myers. This dude came out of nowhere.
Right.
Absolute dog.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute dog. I watched his debut.
He's a starter, right?
He's a starter for the Brewers, yes.
I didn't know if he was like a bullpen guy.
No. So I think he just went like 7 innings, 1 hit recently. It might have been right before the All-Star break. But like, so I watched his debut and I'm just like, this dude's stuff is disgusting. It's just going every single direction. And it's just like, all right, this dude's a dog. So I just want to like, I kind of want credit for saying this dude's a dog. I know we didn't have a podcast, but Tobias Myers is a dog. All right, not Paul Skeens level dog,
right?
But like,
he's been on so many teams. That's wild.
An English pit bull type of dog, where the other ones, or where Paul Skeens is like a German Shepherd dog,
I'm looking at his like minor league stats.
Dude, he's been everywhere. He's been everywhere.
He had a 4.7 in rookie level with the Orioles, 4.7 ERA, and then he went to the Rays. He was 4-2 with 3.54 with Aberdeen and Hudson. Minor leagues. These are all minor league stats.
Oh, okay.
And then 10-6 with a 3.71. So he was decent with the Rays, and then he left the Rays, and he was just with the Guardians 1-9 with a 6 ERA over 14 starts.
Jesus.
And then
I don't know.
He allowed 3 runs in 3 innings pitched with the Giants, and then they released him. He was there for 23 days.
I thought he was less traveled than that.
And then the White Sox, he was in 2022 in the minor leagues. He was 1-15 with a 7.82 ERA.
And he's only 25.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
And then he came to the Brewers, and he was 10-5 with a 4.93. And then they called him up this year.
Hey, he's throwing a 3.14 in the MLB, so that's all I care about.
And then now he's just kind of a dude. 6-3 with a 3.13 ERA and 62 strikeouts. That was through July 10th, so he might have another start there.
It's 6-4 with 68 now.
So yeah,
he lost the game.
Nobody updated Wikipedia since his last start.
So he was drafted in 2016. So he got drafted when he was 17 years old.
18.
18?
Well, I
25 now. Okay. He's almost 26. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I guess it depends when the draft was.
Right now he is 25 years and 355 days old. So he's basically 26.
Yeah, he was selected in 2016. I don't know when the 2016 draft was. June. So
draft just happened, so
yeah.
Not too long ago.
So yeah, he would have been 17 going on to 18. So right out of high school he was drafted.
He's a guy.
Turned into quite the stud. Mm-hmm. They still need, a more experienced pitcher though for that. Especially with the injuries. Is Freddie Peralta hurt or?
Yeah, a little bit, I think.
Okay.
It's a long season.
Wade Miley,
they're winning.
I know.
They're winning. They're on a 4-1. They just came off a 4-1 road trip. So I mean.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah, and they're playing decent teams. I mean, I guess the Cubs are a last place team right now, so maybe you don't want to count them. But they beat the Twins twice, so
they did solid against the Dodgers, didn't they?
I don't think they did.
No?
They usually don't do very good against the Dodgers.
I thought they were like.
Or they lose the one game that's on prime time and then win the other two. Right. They never win the game on prime time. It's crazy.
Okay, never mind. They lost the first two and then won the second or third. I mean.
Yeah, they didn't get swept.
I mean, yeah, they're still. It's not like they got blown out in any of the games. They're still like. They lost 5-8, lost 3-5, and they beat them 9-2. So.
The thing about the Dodgers, which just pisses me off, is they always have the clutchest hitting, all the time. Just it irks me a little bit. Is what it is.
I don't know. They kind of. Oh, that was before the All-Star break. I'm looking way too far back. I was gonna say they kind of struggled going into the All-Star break. Lost to the Pirates. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals.
It came at a good time. The All-Star break came at a good time.
Yeah. That wraps up this episode. Went a little longer than I was expecting, but it is what it is. We've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
If you made it this far into the episode, we appreciate you for watching. No solid confirmation on when the next episode will be. I don't even know what we'll talk about next episode because who knows what will happen by then.
True.
It'll probably be after the trade deadline, so talk about some of that stuff for MLB. Hopefully Jordan Love contract will be worked out by then too, so we can talk about that. Yeah, I don't know. There might be a debut of a certain person's YouTube channel coming soon. I.e. me.
Who's a certain person?
Me.
Ben?
Me.
I think it's Adam.
I might start releasing some college football 25 content.
You're gonna make a Dynasty content?
I have something in the works. We'll talk about that.
In the works?
We can talk about that off camera. It's a surprise for the people who pay attention. They can hop in youtube.com/ I don't know if there's a slash, but Green Bay Bozo on YouTube. That might kick off might get into streaming after that. Some Road to Glory stuff maybe. I want to get in a little more. Yeah, I want to get in a little more content creation. Get my name, not my name out there, but build a presence out there, so maybe I can help promote this podcast a little more.
There you go.
Just some more avenues to promote things. So yeah, we'll see what happens though. Got some things in the works. But until next episode, we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.